Hello, I'm Min Kobayashi, and today I'm going to talk about the books that I bought in March of 2018. I am actually very proud of myself because for the first time I did not buy like 25 books. I have been limiting myself because my semester is ending and after 2 years of living in residence, I have to move. The first book that I have is one that I ordered in January after reading it and I loved it, and that would be the Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. It is a great book dealing with mental illness set in 1890s, written in 1892 I believe, by a woman who was put on a rest year, which is when they were put into a room and told to like sleep and not do anything including writing for months at a time to deal with nervousness, which would probably be our current day anxiety. I talked at length about this book in my January wrap-up. It ended up being a horror book that I was not aware of, and that was a little terrifying, but other than that, it was pretty good. And then I have The Time Quartet. It is a science fiction book following Megan Murray when her father goes lost while discovering time travel stuff. Her and her friend Calvin, as well as her brother Charles Wallace, go on an adventure through space to stop evil. And isn't this cover kind of terrifying? I'm pretty sure if I was a kid I would be incredibly terrified of this cover. A favorite of mine that I saw, and it's in the Penguin editions, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, which you're gonna say I have both of those up there somewhere. Why am I buying the new one? Because my Tom Sawyer book is in a limited edition Reader Digest version and it's kind of hard to read, when this book is very pretty and has both of them together. These are stories of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn dealing with growing up in the 1880s and just tomfoolery, and Huck Finn has more of an anti-racist thing when he works with an escaped slave and they try to figure out how to give him freedom. I have another science fiction book. This is The Map of Time. This is a cool book. I've never heard of anyone talk about it, but I just saw it in my used bookstore and I decided to pick it up. It's 3 plots interwoven within them. The main one seems to be about H.G. Wells, who's skeptical before he, becomes more of a believer in science fiction, and he has to investigate instances of time travel and ends up trying to save lives as well as literary classics such as Dracula and the Time Machine. So I'm not sure if it's Dracula the person or Dracula as in the story. This is The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. This is published in 1920 and it was the first book ever published by a woman to win a Pulitzer Prize. So I think that's incredible. Set in the glory days of New York City, and it has to do with Archer, who has to make a decision about whether marrying the woman he loves or marrying a woman he is engaged to. I'm not huge into scandal and cheating, so I really hope that's not going into there. But it sounds like it could be interesting. Dive into high society, kind of similar to The Great Gatsby is kind of the vibe I'm getting. And then because I am a total and utter nerd, I have the Dictionary of Literary Terms and Literary Theory. So these are the books that I bought this month. So I also went through, and something I have been not wanting to do in forever is going through my books that I own on my shelf and putting them as owned but not read on Goodreads, because I want my Goodreads page to be like looking pretty, and it doesn't look pretty now because it says I have 57 books that I own but have not read. So these are books that I have never, it's hurting my hand. These are books that I have never read any part of them, like I'm not currently reading, and if I have read the first in the series. So until I read more of those, I'm going to try to limit how many books I buy, because 57 books, not including series, is a lot of books to own. I hope that you have a delightful day and happy reading and writing.